Hi, all the signs of the zodiac. I'm Pam, the Lucky Mermaid, psychic seer and modern mystic, bringing you psychic predictions and messages from my spirit guides for this full moon in Aries, October 6, 2025, psychic crystal reading for each of the four elements: earth, water, fire, and air. The earth signs are Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. The water signs are Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. The fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And the air signs are Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. You may want to watch the entire video and watch all the corresponding elements that go along with your sun, your moon, and your rising sign, because this full moon in Aries is not just going to affect your sun sign only. So you may want to check them out. And also, if you're born on the cusp of your sign, you may want to watch the element that goes along with your cusp sign as well. So remember, sometimes your rising sign and moon sign may resonate more for you than your sun sign. And if you're born on the cusp of your sign, sometimes your psychic predictions and messages are coming to you from there. So you may want to check that out. So all that being said, now on to your psychic crystal reading for this Aries full moon, October 6, 2025. And I'm starting with the element of earth, Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. I feel like you're going to come to a lot of conclusions. Things that may have been like floating around, uncertain, hanging like up in the air, you're going to come to some conclusions about things, earth signs, and decisions over the course of the next 2 weeks and up to 30 days. Some of you earth signs may find that you're bridging the gap between generations. Maybe you're a teacher or an instructor or a coach or a mentor, or it could be in a family situation or in some environment where there's a lot of people, a club, a group, an organization. Could even be on a video, on like a platform, video platform, YouTube, Rumble, something, where something you're doing, something you're saying, something you're directly involved with bridges the gap between generations. It could speak to people that are very young, people that are in the middle, people that are elderly. Some of you could get sick. You could get, because I hear getting the chills. You could get the chills, you could get a cough, you could be getting the flu. So it could even be like allergies. Sometimes allergies can make you feel like you're sick. But I get getting chills, getting a cough. Like I said, again, that can really happen from allergies. So it's cold or allergies, probably. Some of you, this full moon is going to it's going to cause you to want to break ties with somebody. And I feel for some of you, it could be a friend. Now, it could be a relative that, you've had contention, you haven't been getting along with them. Maybe you get, like, you've had your fill, you're fed up, you break ties with them. It could be a love partner. It could be a love partner. But for some of you, I feel it's more like a friend. Some of you are going to be able to complete a very big project. Or you're planning some big project and you either complete the plan so you can begin the project, or you complete the project. And it could be more like a home renovation project, like maybe you're going to paint or re-wallpaper or, build an addition or put kitchen tile up, and you're planning it all out. It could be even planning a trip, but I feel like it's more like a project, like completing a plan or completing the project over the course of the next 2 weeks and up to 30 days. Some of you are going to get invited to attend some kind of gathering or a ball where, you know, people are dressed up in fancy clothes. Maybe it's going to be for Halloween, or it could be like, you know, a town event, or if you belong to a church, a club, a group, an organization. But I hear it's either like a big gathering, or a ball. Do people have them anymore? That's like what goes on at, you know, the mayor's, governor's mansion. I don't know, but that's what I hear. If you are somebody that cut yourself off from dating or getting involved with people and you're like, yeah, I'm not getting intimately involved with people anymore like that, or you've had a hiatus from it, I feel like you're going to get back into the game of that over the next 2 weeks and up to 30 days. So now I'm going to look at the three cautions. You guys always like the warnings and the cautions. Many people comment on that. So let's see what my guides say for the earth signs. Some of you are building something up bigger emotionally in your head than what it actually is. So you could be overthinking, overworking your mind, overanalyzing. It could be an event that's coming up, or that maybe you're suspicious of somebody doing or saying something, or something going on that you don't know the whole story about. My guides are saying you're building it up bigger in your head than it actually is. My guides say some of you earth signs are digging your own grave by saying too much, because you may feel like you have to explain yourself. Maybe it's at work to your boss. Maybe it's to your love partner. Maybe it's in some other way, but you're digging your own grave because you're going to talk way too much. You're going to give out details that are not necessary. So be careful of that. Keep it short and sweet. Okay, this is a weird message. My guides say you're smart, but about a particular topic, don't come for me now, about a particular topic or situation, you're not as smart as you think you are. Now, they're saying you're smart, but about one particular thing. So there's something going on that you're going to feel like, I got all the answers, or I know exactly what's going on, or I know how to do it without any problem. But you really don't. You think you do, but once you dig into whatever this is, it could be something you're making, it could be something you're writing about, it could be something you're reporting on. You may be acting like you have all the facts about something, but you don't. So be cautious of that. That's a hard thing to see when it's happening. You may not see that coming. So think on that. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. So now on to the element of water, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. This full moon in Aries could make you water signs feel like you're off kilter, off balance. It could, you could just, for the next 2 weeks and up to 30 days, you could feel like, I don't know, off kilter, off balance, out of sorts, a little wonky. Some of you may really try to manifest, and you may state that something is fact. You could be very factual based. You could be like, this is laying down the law. This is it. This is how it's going to go down. This is what's going to happen. Or this is what I need you to do. You could be kind of bossy. You could be very fact oriented, like it's black and white, no shades of gray there. You could do this with your coworkers, employees, your significant other, could be happening with your kids where you're like, I'm laying down the law, or guess what, this is how it's going to go down. And you may be really like, everything's black and white and everything is like fact. You don't want to hear any supposition, which is interesting for water signs, because usually they are more flexible about not having to have everything be fact, like, you know, depending on your sign. But this is like, nope, it's got to be black and white fact. You may be bossy and dictatorial. You could find yourself feeling uncomfortable. And it could be in situations, like if you have to sit through a lecture or sit through a class or something you have to do for work and you got to sit for a long time. I see you like shifting in your chair, shifting, changing, being uncomfortable. It could also be, sometimes don't you ever just feel like you don't feel comfortable in your skin? Like you just feel uncomfortable for some reason? You could experience that over the next 2 weeks and up to 30 days. But especially if you have to listen to anything and you're like, it could be at a wedding, a funeral, a speech, a class, you know, like where you're like, you can't get up, you got to sit there. You could feel uncomfortable. Could be at work. Some of you could have some of you water signs could have somebody that wants to borrow something from you. And either they have a terrible track record of like not returning stuff they borrow, or they break things that they borrow. And maybe you didn't experience it yet, but you may have heard it from a neighbor, a friend, a relative, like, oh, don't ever lend so-and-so anything because it'll come back broken or messed up or, you know, not work properly, or they don't return it. So beware of somebody that wants to borrow something from you over that next month time period. Some of you may find that you get more elevated to a position of power and you may actually have more authority and control over something. It could be a promotion at work. It could be within a family situation or in a group you belong to. You could get like elevated to a position of power. If you put something out there for people to buy or view, it's going to go really well. You're going to either sell a lot of products and services, or if you put a video out there, it's going to get a lot of views. Like, you know, it's going to do well. Something you put out there gives you some kind of return, a good return. Some of you may have to clear out a family property, or it could be a club, group, or organization's property that you belong to. And I feel like you're going to be able to get things from the property, like that you can either use or turn around and sell. So even though it may sound like work, and like it could be an estate, maybe somebody in your family passed away or they're moving and they're like, I don't want to clear out this garage or this storage unit. You can clear it out and have what it's ever in there, like that kind of energy. And you're going to get some cool stuff that you're either going to use, give away, or sell. So now here are the 3 cautions for the water signs. If you have to give a speech or a presentation, you could trip yourself up with words. So you may have difficulty if you have to give a lecture or a speech or teach a class, or you could trip yourself up. So speak slowly. And my advice is, if you're looking at something in writing, especially if it's on paper, write little funny things around it, or put like little quirky faces, or like making fun of yourself around it. I know this sounds weird. or, you know, like calm down, or don't forget to slow down, or are you an idiot? Make sure you're smiling, but you could say goofy things. So when you're looking at your speech or your presentation, it's going to loosen you up, and it's going to be reminders for you around the borders, because if you try to keep it too by the book, you could stumble over your words, trip yourself up, that kind of thing. Some of you water signs could be really combative. You could have very combative behavior, and you could find yourself getting really angry at people. This could even be out in the world. You could be driving, you could be going to the bank, you could be going food shopping, you could be going to the movies. It could be people in your life around you, at work, in your home. It doesn't matter where it's happening, but you could find yourself getting really angry at people. And you could lash out at them verbally. So that's one of your cautions there. Oh, be careful, because some of you are going to be quick to say, I agree to that, I'll do it. And then you're going to be like, oh no, I shouldn't have agreed to that. You may not have the time to do what you agreed to. It may be something you hate to do. It may be something that you regret that you're going to be doing. So don't be too quick to agree to something this next month. Tell people you'll have to get back to them. Don't say yes right away to stuff, or you're going to be like, oh, I wish I didn't do that. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. And I just want to let you know, if you're interested, the special video series I recorded for the month of October, Spirit Animals, Tarot, Oracle cards, and Jasper Crystal readings are available. A lot of people really like animals and animal totems, and they resonate with that. And I did a reading like that many years ago for Vimeo. I haven't done it for a while, so if you're interested, that link is down below in the description box in the Show More section, or it's on my website at theluckymermaid.com on the videos page, and you can purchase them also on my Patreon page. On the Patreon shop. Those links will be down below on my website and on Patreon, and the link to Patreon is down below too. So you may want to check that out. And you might want to also get my psychic crystal readings for each sign of the zodiac for October 2025. So it'll give you a lot more information and messages than you're going to get right here using the crystal. You want to see what I get for you in the crystal on Vimeo or Patreon, you can get those videos there. And don't forget to watch my psychic tarot readings for October, because people aren't watching them as much as they used to. And I'm not really sure why, but you're missing out. There's a lot of messages and predictions there for free that you can watch on YouTube. So make sure you're watching your sun, your moon, your rising sign on my psychic tarot readings for this channel. So now I'm moving on to, I hope those messages were of help to you, water signs. Now I'm moving on to the element of fire. This is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Some of you fire signs may find that this full moon in Aries could make you want to change everything going on in your life or your diet. You may want to change your diet, your exercise program, but some of you may be like, that's it, I want to change everything. It could be in your home, it could be about your job, it could be friends and clubs and groups, so it could be everything. You may be quite content, Aries and Leo and Sagittarius, to sit back and let other people work. while you watch. This full moon in your in Aries could make you feel like you don't want to work. You want to sit back and direct and, tell people what to do and enjoy yourself, with a nice cool drink and, your feet up while you're directing this one to do this one to do that. Some of you fire signs are going to want to break bread and make peace with somebody. So somebody you've been at odds with, maybe arguing with or not getting along in some way, you may say, let's grab a cup of coffee, or let's go out to lunch, or come over and we'll have dinner and we need to chat or talk. Like, breaking bread is eating and making peace. So who is that? I don't know. It could be if you had a problem with somebody you're dating, or it could be, with a family member or a friend of yours that you kind of have gotten edgy with. You may want to make peace, break bread with them, and make peace over the next 2 weeks and up to 30 days. You could get singled out during that time frame to do a particular task or job. So it could be at work, if you work for another business or company, that they could single you out above other employees and say, we want you to do that, fire sign. We want you to take care of it. That could even be happening in a family situation. Maybe you have family members, parents that are elderly, or somebody that they're like, well, we're going to single you out. We want you to be the executor of the will. We want you to be the power of attorney. We want you to handle this, that, or the other. I don't know what, but you are going to get singled out for something. The next 30 days, somebody's going to single you out and want you to do something specifically. I feel like you're going to have better luck with clothes. I know that sounds weird. It could be some things that you thought they didn't fit anymore and you were going to get rid of them, and you take them out. You're like, hey, these fit. Or it could be if you're trying on clothes and you're like, I don't know, I don't think this size, is going to work for me anymore. You may go to the store and you pick out the size you didn't think you could fit into, and you go, hey, it fits. Or it could be you go to a yard sale and people are selling clothes or something where you're going to be surprised, but it's like happy surprise. You're going to be glad. But for some of you, it could be your own stuff that you're like, this pile of clothes, this tub of clothes doesn't fit me anymore. And you'll find out they fit. Some of you could be the subject of a newspaper article, a magazine article, an article or something that's written on the internet, or something videotaped, or of a news story, or a documentary where you could be featured in some way. You could be the feature subject. And this is positive for you. It's going to be good PR, as they say, good public relations for you. You could be exceptionally popular with your friends and or family members or coworkers or everybody, where everybody's going to be like, hey, we want to hang out with you. We want to party with you. We want to go hang out with you. You could find your popularity really increasing and people want to be with you and hang out with you over the next 2 weeks and up to 30 days. So now here are the 3 cautions for the fire signs. Got to be careful of what you get rid of, because some of you fire signs are going to dump some stuff you didn't think you wanted anymore, and you're going to regret it. So be careful of what you get rid of. I'm not saying don't get rid of stuff, but be very careful. Be 100% sure you want to get rid of it, because some of you are going to regret that you got rid of stuff over the next 30 days. Okay. Some of you need to be careful because there's a family member bringing a new family member into this scenario. And don't be so like, I'm embracing you so willingly because I'm so, gregarious and I'm so welcoming, because you're not going to end up liking this person. You're going to think you do in the beginning. So I'm not saying don't be friendly. Absolutely be cordial. But I wouldn't be so like, oh my gosh, you're the best, because something's going to come up that you're going to be like, oh, you either can't trust them or you don't like them. But I feel like it's somebody in your family is bringing them into the fold, bringing them into the scene. And they may not be around that long in this scenario too. So just keep that in mind, because I can see you going, hey, we're welcome. I'm welcoming you. And you're going to be like, oh no. in short order. It's not going to take very long for you to see that. It'll pop up quick. And please remember to hit the like button to help get this video out to more people, help this channel grow, and help with the algorithms. I do truly appreciate it. Okay, I don't know how to warn you about this. Well, I'm going to tell you what I get, but some of you may get invited to a gathering and somebody's going to dump on you in some way, or like pick on you, or like you're going to say something and they're going to like turn their nose up at your ideas, or pick apart something to do with you, or be kind of like snobby, argumentative with you. So I don't know what to tell you to do here, because I don't want to say don't go to a party, because you could have a great time. But I feel like there's somebody that's a nudge that's going to be critical, and like, I don't know if it's just at you. Maybe they're going to be that way at other people, but I'm looking at the fire signs here and I feel like they don't like you. Or there's something about what you're doing or what you're saying. Maybe you're being like real fun and jovial and having a good time, and then somebody comes up and says something that like knocks you down a peg or two. That's the feeling I get. Now, how you handle it, that doesn't mean don't go to the party, but just keep this in mind if you are going to a gathering over the next 30 days, that if that crops up, think about how you want to handle it. I'm not saying don't go, because I think you should go. But there's somebody that's like, they may not like you, or they have like, they're kind of a snob, or they have childish behavior, but they're going to be critical of you in some way. They may try to embarrass you. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at here, is that could be part of it. So just think on that. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the element of air, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. This full moon in Aries could cause you air signs to decide that there's certain things that you do in your life to do them in a whole new way. It could be like how you wash your clothes, how you cook your meals, how you clean your home, how you, like, I don't know, anything. How you do certain things to do with self-care. You may find there's certain things in your life that you want to now attend to in a whole new way. This could be a full moon that leads you air signs to want to sit down and have some really important conversations with people. Now, this could be people that you love and care about, like family, friends, or could be people that work for you. But it could also be if you need to talk to a lawyer or an accountant or, a financial advisor or somebody like that. You may want to sit down and have some kind of important conversations. Some of you will feel very inspired to get rid of a lot of stuff. It could be old clothes, old stuff. If you have little kids and they've outgrown clothes and toys, you may want to get rid of all that. Or if you held on to like old pieces of technology, old laptops, old phones, old this, old that, you may be like, you know what, this stuff has to go. So you could be getting rid of a lot of old stuff over the next month. Some of you air signs are going to see yourself in a whole new role, maybe in a whole new venue. So you may feel like you want to change your job. You may want to change your career. You may want to change the position at your job. You may want to be put in a different area or department. Could come up for some of you. Some of you are going to get connected with somebody new, and I feel like it could be through the internet. So it could be like a new client or customer to you. It could be somebody you meet in an online chat, or like some video you're watching and there's chat going on, and you start interacting with somebody on the chat. Because I feel like it's through online. It could be online dating, but it could also be through social media like Facebook, Instagram, could be a dating site. But connecting with somebody new online comes up for some of you air signs. If you're trying to sell something, you may be like trying to stage it, like set it up. It could also be if you have a friend that's single, or one of your kids or somebody, and you want them to meet somebody you could stage a meetup for like matchmaking kind of thing. Or you could be staging, like maybe you're trying to sell your home, so you're going to stage it. Take furniture out, take all the junk out, everything out, and only have I always laugh when I go into people's houses when they're selling their houses. You can see clearly what's staged and what isn't, clearly. Clearly it's obvious, because probably if you went in there before they staged it, you'd be like, look at all this junk. So you could be staging your home. You could be staging a meetup, like in a matchmaking sense as well. So here are the 3 cautions for the air signs. You're doing too much. Some of you are doing too much. You're doing too much work, and you may not be enjoying yourself enough. So make sure you're not burning the candle at both ends and doing too much work. And doing too much for other people that they could really handle some of it themselves. So don't, put yourself out above and beyond for people that are completely capable of doing stuff. Maybe you're working too hard to try to be nice and pleasing for others. Some of you air signs need to be careful that you are getting on somebody too much about stuff. You could be getting after your significant other too much, or it could be somebody in your family that you were raised in, or it could be one of your kids where you're like getting on them too much. Like, do this, do that. You need to do that. Like, or being too critical. That could go on from the energies of this full moon. So if you notice that you're doing that, try to stop yourself, because you don't want to seem like a nag, or like where the person you're doing this to is going to be like, here they come, I don't want to talk to them. Some of you air signs may see a situation either at work, either in your home life, or in your family in some other way, or in a club group or organization where you're seeing drama. drama kicking up. And don't insert, my advice is don't insert yourself in that drama. I would exit stage left. That's what I would do. Because if you stick around, or you're going to get sucked into it. And then if you give your opinion, you're going to make an enemy somewhere. And you've got to stay out of people's dramas. Don't get involved in it. Even if you're like really compelled, like you firmly agree with one side over the other, I would not do it, because there's going to be some kind of repercussions of it down the line, where tables get turned or some other situation comes up, and then the person who you were against, or like you pick one side over the other, that side you did not pick is going to come back, and it will end up causing you problems in the future. I don't know how else to explain that. So I hope it made sense. Oh, I hope that made sense. So I hope that this full moon in Aries brings you absolutely amazing energy and benefits you. And if you're interested in any of the special videos I record on very specific topics, bringing you more psychic predictions and messages, you can get them on my Vimeo on-demand videos and also on my Patreon shop tab. I've created a list you can read here on this slide. They are also linked below this video in the description box and on my website at theluckymermaid.com on the videos page. So again, I really hope this Aries full moon brings you amazing things and happiness, and know that I wish you many blessings and peace.